we head to Zoom to welcome in the head coach, the UMBC Retrievers. He is Coach Jim Ferry, and he is with us this morning. Coach, it's Glenn and Patrick. It's always good to catch up with you. Thank you for taking a couple of minutes for us. All right, we will see if we can't get that fixed and figure out what's going on there. As Jim Ferry, UMBC basketball coach, is up next. Oh, Coach, you got me? You got us?
I do.
All
hey,
right.
guys, thanks for having me. How's everybody doing, all right?
Everything is good, Coach. It's good to hear from you. Coach, before we get started with your team, I wonder, because one of the big stories in college basketball of late is the news about the NIT. And I feel like that your program, because you've been competing for championships so much recently and, you know, obviously knowing the stops that you've been at before, just your thoughts on the route that college basketball is going and no longer, you know, benefiting the regular season champions of leagues like yours to make sure you have that opportunity.
Yeah, really disappointing. You know, I know Danny personally, Danny Gavitt. I don't see where that decision was made in the best interest of college basketball, certainly for all of college basketball. You know, from my understanding, there was, you know, Fox Television, which is in charge of everything nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fox was trying to get a tournament out in Vegas, you know, to go against the NIT. And I think the NIT kind of just pulled the trigger real quick to try to take those teams away. I think what makes the NIT special are those teams that get the automatic bid. Those teams are excited to be in the NIT. You know, some of these teams that you're talking about taking from the Power Five or Power Six after the NCAA tournament. So I coached in the Big Ten, right? You get 9 teams. They're still talking about taking 2 more teams. So you're talking about taking 10 and 11. You know, automatically in that. I don't know. It's just not. And I think the NIT special. I was on a staff. We won the NIT championship my first year at Penn State, and it's a pretty special experience. And tournaments run very well. So I'm really disappointed, and I sure hope it's not a prelim to the Power Fives, Power Sixes trying to take over the NCAA tournament, because that would be a shame.
We wholeheartedly agree about that, Coach. And Patrick and I have definitely seen some teams over the years that made the NIT from power conferences that had no interest in being there whatsoever. None, not at all. Coach, I 10 new players this year on your roster, so I hope you're not offended when I ask the question this way. Who are these guys, right? Like, tell me about how it is that you went about putting together this year's team.
Well, I'm gonna have a roster here next week because I'm still kind of learning each guy's name. Listen. You know what? I have an unbelievable staff. My guys work extremely hard. You know, whether we're bringing in one guy or we're bringing in 10 guys or 15 guys, it's all about the character, the person. So we do a really good job of bringing in great people that fit our university and fit our program. And when you do it that way, I think it's a little bit easier to bring in 10 guys when you're bringing in character and stability. So we kind of, like last year, we brought in 8 guys, and I kind of went with the grad transfer route, older guys. This year, I kind of really blended it out a little bit. The transfers that we took are going to be here for years now if the NCAA holds true and doesn't allow you to transfer twice. We took one grad transfer who's only here for a year. We took some high school kids. So we really blended a great group together. You know, it's been enjoyable as a coach, except as you see, my hair is getting a lot grayer. I used to have blonde hair probably before this season started. But it brings you back to your roots as a coach. You know, you got to coach everything. You're coaching not only player development, you're coaching team unity, you're coaching emotions, you're implementing new things because everything's new for everybody. So fortunately, we have a great group of guys. We are really competitive. We're really tough. We're really aggressive. And the fact that we had this summer has really helped us a lot, that we're able to blend these guys together in the summer before school starts. So things are going pretty well right now. We've you know, had a scrimmage and an exhibition game, and you know, we played well and played poorly in each one. So it's great. It's kind of showed us what we need to work on as we get ready for the first game.
Jim, one of the holdovers is Dion Brown, who obviously maybe got a little bit of a slow out of the gates because of injury and what have you last year, but had a really solid freshman year. How have you seen him develop this offseason, and how important is he going to be for what you guys want to do?
Yeah, what people don't realize about Dion is, he did not do anything until late November last year to even start practice because he was returning from an ACL injury. So he didn't do anything in the summer, didn't do anything in the fall, couldn't practice when practice started. And then when he was cleared to go, we just kind of threw him in the fire, played him out of position all year. Now we're playing him in his natural position. The one thing people will see about Dion, he's a tremendous, tremendous leader. Does a fantastic job. He's really vocal, he's really aggressive, holding himself accountable on the team. And I think people are going to see a totally different Dion this year just because he gets to play on the ball, which is his natural position. I think he's a kid that has all league caliber talent, whether it's this year or next year. He has a kid that's going to be an all league player.
Coach Jim Ferry from UMBC with us on our college basketball preview show. Coach, among the newcomers is a freshman who matters a lot to Baltimore basketball folks, and that's, of course, Ace Valentine from Mount St. Joe, someone who's played in the building before and has won titles. How quickly does Ace have an opportunity to step in and make an impact? And, is there, almost any pressure that a kid carries, having been such a successful player locally?
Yeah, Ace is doing a fantastic job. I mean, not only is he right down the road, he's in the same town. He's a local kid. He's a fantastic kid. He's a great student, comes from a great family. He's doing a really good job. But he's also, he's a freshman. So he's having some freshman up and downs each day in practice, in games. But he's a really competitive kid. He's played pretty well in spurts in each one of our scrimmages and exhibitions. He's going to have an opportunity to play this year. There's no doubt about it. And I think what you're going to see out of Ace is more so by the end of the year, you're really going to see his development at this college game.
Just doing a little bit of box score scanning from that game up at Fordham the other day. And three of those newcomers stand out: Marcus Banks, Bryce Johnson, and Kadarius Smith. What have you kind of seen from those guys in particular? And I guess, is it fair to say that they're going to be pretty important for what you're going to do?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Bryce is an extremely athletic guard that can shoot threes. Really fits our style of play and what we're doing. Obviously, all three of those guys having great experience. Marcus, I think he had like 32 points in our first scrimmage against another college team. Played very well at Fordham. He's just a mature, physical man, the way he approaches the game. And then Kadarius, again, experienced forwards, to have a guy like him in our program. He played fantastic against Fordham the other day. I think those three guys are going to give us, and plus Max Lorker, are really going to give us game experience. We're trying to get shared experiences right now as a team, and every day is a shared experience for us. But those guys have actually played in high-level games and competition, and they've done a really good job of kind of adjusting to the way we want to play while bringing us, the experience of being really good college basketball players.
UMBC opens at Louisville next Monday, and then the home opener that next Saturday against Marist in Catonsville. Coach, who are maybe some of the other newcomers that you can already sense are going to be key contributors early on to what it is that you guys are doing?
Yeah, well, some are newcomers and some are returners that didn't play much. Devin Sapp's really done a very good job. He played a little bit for us last year. He's a big, physical, versatile basketball player. We play him kind of all over the floor. He's got the ability to shoot threes. He can really rebound the basketball. Another kid that's done really well for us is Frank Emu, another freshman, very similar to Ace. Good size, another 6'4", 6'5" guard, that can do multiple things. We're trying to play real positionless basketball this year and play really, really fast. And I think for these young guys, it's a little bit of an adjustment, but he's really doing a good job. And then, like I said, Mac Lorker-Lloyd, who is a Penn graduate, played at Penn, transferred to us as a grad transfer, has 2 years, has been tremendous. For the first time since I've been here, we really have rim protection. He's top 10 in the country in blocks per minutes played, and it showed the other night. I think he had 7 blocks at Fordham against a much bigger physical team, and he's just another guy that's just really, really easy to play with. Another guy is Marlon Short. He's a Division II transfer, been recovering from an injury a little bit, but just another guy. He's He's 6'5". He just knows how to play. Easy to play with. Great teammate. He's coming off of an injury right now, so we're going to see if we can get him ready for the game Monday night. But so far, everybody's been contributing. I think it's going to be a team this year that we're going to play at least 9 guys, maybe 10 guys at a time, just because we're going to be playing so fast and so aggressive.
One sort of scheduling question I had for you. I know last year you were pleased with how hosting an MTE went. Those, sort of a 3-team event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously enough to do it again. Just what are the benefits of doing something like that?
Well, for one, it gets us some home games. Mm-hmm. It's really hard as a mid-major to get home games. We got to go on the road and we play the up games, like you say, the Marylands, the Iowas, the Louisvilles. And just to be able to get some home games, you want to host some teams and you can get in there and you get some, good competition. So, like this year, Loyola is in it. Mm-hmm. And very uniquely, we played at Loyola last year. They were going to come back and play to us this year. We were struggling getting another team in there. So, we asked Tavares if he wanted to come over and play in it, which obviously gave him a neutral site game as well. So I think it's an opportunity to get like opponents and, like I said, get some home games out of it, because it's really hard getting like opponents to play and especially get them here.
You guys got a really unique opportunity this summer, Coach. Some guy that people might have heard of named Steph Curry came over to the building and spent some time, and I saw that he was working out with some of your players. Can you take me through what that meant to those guys? And, I don't know that it matters all that much when it's all said and done. I don't know that it's going to help you go try to beat Louisville next week, but I'm sure it had to be a thrill for the guys that were involved with that.
Yeah, we have a great relationship with Under Armour. Obviously, being local and knowing those guys, and those guys taking care of us. So, whenever you get an opportunity to have your guys around, arguably one of the best players in the game right now, I think that's pretty special. And Steph is a down-to-earth guy. He's not a guy that was a 5-star recruit growing up. So I think he respects all that stuff. And he came in, he spent some time with our guys. He got to work out with some of our guys, and guys just spending some time with them and stuff. I think that stuff's special. And I think that, having that opportunity and just being here in Baltimore and being close with Under Armour to get that, it absolutely helps our program.
You didn't happen to hear from anybody else? Like, can you promise me next year that if I come to UMBC, I get to hang out with Steph Curry? Like, it didn't become like almost a burden now for future recruiting, did it?
It'll be part of the NIL, right? We'll sell it as part of the NIL.
There could be worse things, man. There could be way worse things.
No doubt.
Coach, you when you got here, you knew, right, that you were walking into a place with expectations. You knew that that this has been a program that had been competing for championships and right there. How good has it felt to be able to continue that, to say, hey, we have kept that sort of standard of being a top team, and what has it taken in order to be able to keep this going at UMBC?
I'll be quite honest with you guys. I really didn't pay attention to that stuff. Ryan was a fantastic coach and did a great job, and UMBC's been to the NCAA tournament, I think, twice in its program history. I've been in the NCAA tournament at the Division I level twice myself, as taking a program there. So I want to help this program get back, more so for the kids, because it's such a special opportunity. I've been coaching a long time, and no one's going to be putting, or nothing's going to be putting pressure on me more than myself to do things the right way. This place is unique. We have a beautiful facility. We have an administration that really cares. I think we're in a great conference for who we are. So, the first year for us to get to the championship game, my first year, that's usually pretty hard to do because it's an adjustment. But it was a goal, and as it is every year. Disappointing that we didn't win that game and get to the NCAA tournament. Last year, again, we had another 18 wins. Finishing the top 4 in the league. I think we have a chance to do that this year. I think we'll have a chance to do it every single year. We've really upgraded the schedule, though. I really try to challenge us here since I've gotten here. We're not playing multiple Division III games. We're really trying to play a tougher schedule. We're playing 3 Colonial games. I don't even know if it's called a Colonial anymore. I don't even know what the conference is called. But we're playing Maryland. We're opening up at Louisville. We're going out to Iowa. I'm playing all the local teams. I'm playing Towson. I'm playing Loyola. I'm playing Coppin. I'm playing Morgan. I think that stuff's really, really important. But when you look at our schedule compared to some of the other schedules in our league, ours is really challenging. But I'm doing that to prepare our guys. So it might not be, 23 win seasons, but it's going to be seasons where we're ready to compete in our conference, to compete for a conference championship.
Yeah, I believe it is the Coastal, and we'll ask Pat because he just wandered into studio with us in a second. We'll get him to explain it to us. Jim Ferry, as we mentioned, obviously the season opens up next Monday night at Louisville, and then the home opener against Marist on November 11th. Coach, really appreciate you taking some time for us this morning here on the preview show. Thanks for doing this, and we'll be checking in during the course of the season. All right.
Thanks, guys. Really appreciate you guys. Have a great year.
It's Coach Jim Ferry